1, 0, -1, -2, negative. Okay. Don't stop going live. I got nothing. All right, new project. Here we go. We shall create our new form. It'll be a Windows Forms app. Should I turn on the big screen too? No one's using it? Anyone using it?
Yeah, do that.
Yes, big screen?
Yes, big screen.
Yes, we are using big screen. We are theoretically using big screen. Hello? There we go. Windows Forms app. We are going to call this Lab 5.0 Oicho Kabu. And of course our names.
Your stream is very delayed.
It happens.
That's how bad the school Wi-Fi is.
I'm not on Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah, Ethernet.
Tasty, tasty Ethernet. All right. Here we are, Oicho Kabu. We're going to need a properties window. We're going to need a toolbox, and we're definitely going to need a different form name, absolutely. FRM Oicho Kabu.
It's because it's Japanese, Frank. Come on. What is Japanese, though?
Things, or the language of, or the. All right, here it is, Oicho Kabu. We're going to need some cards, and so I'm going to pull a label out here. This is going to be LBL P1 card. P for player, 1 for the first card because it's a card. And we're going to want it card sized, roughly. So I'm going to, that kind of looks like a card, right? Yeah, you're going to have to turn off auto size so that we can make it the size we want. And also because I hate auto size. Let us align the text to the center. Change from label 1 to, well, it's 1 through 10, so I'm going to use a 10. Because that's the biggest value we're going to have when I start playing with the font.
Quick question.
Ask.
Are we going to change, like, the trim around the rectangle to make it look like it has an outline?
Yeah, we can do that.
Or else it just looks like a 10.
Yeah, we can do that. Oh yeah, we'll change a bunch of stuff. Elephant. What does elephant look like?
Do we need to change the font or no?
I mean, we're gonna want it to look nicer.
That'll look super cool.
Super epic gamer.
Copperplate Gothic bold. Nah, not really. Centaur. What does that look like?
Dude, Comic Sans.
Not super impressed.
I'm not enough.
Comic Sans.
No thanks, Chief.
What about Algerian?
Some Algerian.
Bauhaus? Nah.
What does it look like on the Wingdings? Wingdings.
Wingdings is gonna make it hard to read what number it is.
What is Wingdings?
Yeah? I'll go with yeah.
MV Bully?
Wingdings.
MV Boli?
MV.
It's kind of artsy.
Microsoft.
All right, pick one you like. That's not useful. You know what? I'm going to go with good old Garamond. I like a good Garamond. Call me old-fashioned. And then play around with the size until it looks like it's a good size and pretty easy to read. Change the forecolor and the back color until you have something that's roughly card-like. I don't know, what color do you want our card to be? White, yellow cards? There we go. And of course, follow the good rules of tincture. So I'm going to leave the forecolor black. That pops nicely. That's very nice. All right. And so there is our first card. We're going to need 5 more cards. We're going to need this card. I'll put it right about here. That looks good. This one's going to be called LBL 2P, or P2 card. Yep, thank you. And gonna make this one. We'll put it about right there. That looks kind of good. That'll be LBL P3 card. And our player should not need more than 3 cards. I can use the format to make the horizontal spacing equal, to make that look pretty. And then I can copy paste the whole thing, just like that.
Why did I do that?
For the dealer's cards. So this first one is going to be called LBL D1 card. The second one will be LBL D2 card. And this third one will be LBL D3
Button.
card. All right. Now, some of these cards haven't been dealt yet when we start the game, specifically the P3 and then all the dealer cards. And we're going to do that by making these cards invisible. I'm not going to do that here in the form designer, though. I'm going to do it in the form load so that I know that it will definitely always happen. It's not that it wouldn't happen, it's that I might miss it in the form load, especially when we're going to be dealing with we've got a lot more objects to go on this form. So rather than make it kind of messy and try to figure out if I've got it or not, I'm going to do it all in one place so that I definitely have it. All right, we need some buttons. I'm going to put some buttons in here, and these buttons are going to be roughly the same size as the cards in width. Oh, you know what? I don't have to do that. I can just look. So if we click on one of the cards, we can see the size, and the width of is 55. So I can just take my button, and I can say, hey, size, your width is now 55. Boom, to the shakalaka, even it up, nice, there. This button is going to be called BTN deal, because it will deal the cards. And we'll also call it deal. I'm going to do a little copying and pasting. And this next card, or this button, is going to be called BTN stay. Should I use stand? I like stand, it sounds better. Stay works too, but deal. And, yep. It's not that big. It's a little deal, I guess. It's not a big deal. Thank you. Thank you very much. And then, pun intended? Me? No. Me making a pun would be like me being sarcastic. BTN hit, we're going to call this one. Now, there are more proper Japanese terms for standing and hitting and everything. And of course, I don't know what they are. And also, this isn't, as I said before, this isn't actual Oichokabu. It's sort of Oichokabu-like. It's an abstract version for our purposes, but it'll do for our purposes. Yes, culturally appropriated Oichokabu. I do. All right, so we're going to need a label. Long or wide? Long or wide? I choose long. All right, so I'm going to take the first label. This is going to be LBL wins label. It'll tell us how many wins we've won. Thank you. This will be the actual LBL wins. That'll count the wins. I'm going to take away the auto sizing because I want it to be right justified to the right side of the cards. And so I'm going to align top right. And we're going to start with 0 wins because that's how the game starts. And then I'm going to do a little copying and pasting. And you guys should feel like super lucky because once upon a time, copying and pasting a control object in Visual Studio was a terrible, terrible idea. It's much easier now. This is going to be the LBL losses label. And it will say simply losses with a colon. And we need to change the name of this to LBL losses. But we don't need to change the text because it's already 0. We'll paste again like I did last summer. That's a little low. You know what? Let's just use the numbers again. So this is going to give us a location. In the Y direction, the downward direction, it's at 289. And this one is at 331. And 289 minus 331, 31 minus 289 is... because they're... well, that could work. I'm concerned because there's 2 objects in each one, but the vertical spacing should be... yeah, it did that. And I don't want it to do that. So, yeah, now I'm back to... what were my numbers? 331... and was it 286? Sure. 289. I'm very proud of you. 42. 373. So these 2 things need to be at 373. Yeah, you can go with what you want. Because I haven't changed this second win yet to ties. All right. Wasn't Ty a colonel in the rebellion? Colonel Ty? The Star Wars one. All right, that looks like a game. All right. If you caught a pen, you know it, clap your hands. Okay, need to work on your rhythm, but it doesn't sound like we need to work on your coding. So let's go to the code. All right. Here it is, and we're going to start, as we always do, with our 5 lines. Welcome to December. We've got fun and games.
Including lots of snow.
Yep.
Decade of memes. 18 and 2021.
That's right. We only have 13 more A days until finals.
Oh,
And
Crazy that
2 entire units to go.
wait, so are we gonna be behind by the time we get to comp site? How many units are in comp site 1?
6. We'll be good.
Oh yeah, because this is 5.
The
And the next one's 6.
Yep. The boss fight is on the 20th. And you can thank me later.
20 is when we go on break, isn't it?
It's the last day before break, yeah. Or last day before break. I don't know if it's last day before break. Okay, form load. Well, we're going to be using random numbers, so let's randomize. Notice the parentheses because randomize is a sub. Uh-huh. There's something else I was going to do. Oh, yeah, make a lot of things invisible. All right, we need to make some things invisible. One of those things was the cards. So, like, every card. Yep. Actually, you know what? I take it back. Here's the thing. We're going to be setting the game back to the beginning every time, right? Does that make sense? So it makes sense to have a subroutine that does that for us. And I want to call it, what do I want to call it? Setup.
I'd say reset.
I'm calling it setup. And it's going to try to fill in something, and I'm going to say, no, don't do that. And then it's going to freak out because, what? There's no setup?
What is
Then we make it.
Then we make it.
holy fish?
We say sub setup. We don't need any parameters. And this will do all of our setting up for us. So we've got, let's set all of the cards to visible equals false. And aren't you glad? The way we named our cards, we can use the autocomplete to our advantage. Without losing any clarity to anyone reading our code. It is very clear that that is a card that belongs to the dealer, etc., etc. All right, so the cards have been cleared from the table. There's also a couple of buttons we want to clear off. We don't need hit or stand at the beginning. We do need deal. So let's make sure that btn deal is visible and the other buttons are not.
Wait, why do we need to declare deal as true?
Because once you deal, I intend for the deal button to vanish. So that you don't accidentally hit deal in the middle of a game. Yeah, otherwise there'd be a huge exploit because it'd be like, oh, I don't like this hand. I'm going to hit deal again. Start over. So now we've got a subroutine that we never, ever, ever have to go back to. There are some private variables, globals that we're going to need to keep track of, specifically wins, losses, and ties. All right. welcome back. Pull up an IDE. Pull up an integrated development environment. Yeah, in IDE. Sorry. IED is something completely different. Don't pull one of those up. Pull up an IDE. An IED would be less good, but we'd probably all be evacuated. Moving on. We've got our scoring variables. We've got our load. We've got our setup. So we never have to write the setup again. Awesome. All right, let's start going through the deal. Hey, man, what's the deal? I'm going to go back to the form. I'm going to double-click on the deal, and that'll give me a handler that'll handle when the deal button is clicked. Excuse me. All right. So we got a couple of places we're going to need to go, right? Because there's going to be a divide here. We need to deal some cards and then stop. And I want to save those card values somewhere other than the label, because labels really should only be for display. So I'm going to need another couple of global variables. Do I need the player's third card?
No. Well, yeah, well, not actually. Yes.
Only if you give it up.
So we should declare anything.
Do I need it? I don't think so, but we can always come back and add it later. So I don't think so. Okay, so the player has dealt deal, so the first thing I need to do is deal 2 cards. Int P1 card shall be int RND times 10 plus 1. Int P2 card. We are, of course, assuming that we have an infinitely sized deck of cards from 1 to 10. So this is our simulation of a deck of infinite size. And then we need to, we're going to be dealing a lot of cards. So, and rather than do this a bunch, I'm going to make a function. So int P1 card is actually going to be deal, no, not button deal, just deal. Sender. Ooh, this is going to be weird. All right. So, function deal, because I need it to send the number back too. And it's going to be a label, LBL card as label. So it's going to get a card object and use that card to deal a number to that card, to that label. Notice it doesn't matter what which label we're dealt. In the function, it's LBL card. Whatever card we get sent, it's LBL card. And this function needs a type, and I want to return an integer because I want to return the value of the card. I'm going to create a int result, and I'm going to type return int result right on the bottom right away, so I don't have to worry about forgetting that step and coming back later when the whole thing crashes and burns. All right, so LBL card, whatever card that might be. Oops, forgot that part. I need to actually give the int result a value. Int result equals int rnd times 10 plus 1. Now LBL card dot text is assigned int result, and then we return int result. Oh, and then also we need to make it visible. Because, you know, if it's not actually visible, then we have problems. All right, are we caught up? I hear a lot of typing. Nope. All right. Are you trying to turn off the lights, or?
Well, you said clap.
Well, not yet, but yeah, I appreciate it. I'm good with that.
I want to clap on in my house, though.
The clapper.
Yeah, but I've heard that has caused a lot of fires.
Yeah. All right. Like inches away. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. What's a CYOT? Cover your ottoman? A school basketball club. I may be a little too old. I'm a super. Yeah, I'm a super duper senior. I used to be pretty good on the outside, which is the only option for short people. All right. If you're caught up and you know it, clap your hands. Sounds good to me. All right, so now we've got a deal. So all we have to do is set these things equal to deal. No, we don't want to send it the button. We want to send the label. LBL P1 card and LBL P2 card. There we go. And that will send the labels to the function, which will then be given the number, and then our values will be assigned those numbers. And to become visible. It's even an awesome bonus for that. Do we want to have a visible total on the board, or do we want to trust our player to brain it themselves? All right, all in favor of a visible total? All opposed? You're in favor of the visible? I agree, just from a programming perspective, but
Why would we have comics in the first place if we're gonna have put laziness? You should know how to play the game.
You might as well just show where app makers can get app.
From a playing the game standpoint,
Well, imagine how confused people would be if they didn't see that shit.
didn't see what?
Didn't see that stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It's good.
It's not a bad idea.
It's good to know how to do it.
I'm trying to figure out what this will look like visually. I'm going to call it LBLP total. I'll put it here-ish. I'm going to take off auto size because I still hate auto size. Yeah, that's actually, that's fine. I'm going to put the word total there. And I'm going to set it to top center. Because, yeah. And this will actually be the P total label. bring it down a bit. Then I'll bring another label in. You know, I'm just going to copy pasta this one. There we go. That looks nice. Ah! Spaghetti code bad. Yeah, I'm doing 1 for the money and 2 for the... Sorry. This is going to be... Yeah, 1 that says total and the other that is actual total. LBL total. And then I'm going to copy paste these. There we go. There we go. Boom. This one needs to be changed to LBLD total label. And this one needs to be LBLD total. LBLD total label. It is a little long, but it describes exactly what it is, and we're never ever going to use it in code. It's just going to sit there and sort of be part of the form. So it's okay to have it a little longer.
Where'd you put text align in the middle?
Yeah, I just did both of them middle top, and then played with it a little bit. I'll scoot it over here and close this up, and maybe take these over here a bit. Yeah, it looks good. I'll close that up-ish. For the life of me, I do not know why I, as a former software engineer, am even pretending to know anything about visual design. But there it is. All right. Okay, so we've got a total now. That's great.
Maybe imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome? Yeah, maybe. Okay, let's see. We're on the deal. So now we need to display the total now that we have one. Hey, you know what would be cool? A variable for the total. Int p total as integer. Oh, yeah. Declare them variables, baby. Int int p total. Yeah, that was a step too far. So, is the total int p1 card plus int p2 card? No, because it's actually the modulo of that by 10. So the total is int p card 1 plus int p card 2 mod 10.
Oh no.
Let's share our opinions about Palestine.
What?
Ha! Politics.
That's that's not politics so much as foreign relations, but it doesn't really matter. Utterly wrong class. Okay. And now that the cards have been dealt, the user has a total and has all the decisions to make as to whether or not to hit or stand. So let's actually give the user... I'm sorry, I'll wait. I'd hate to interrupt. Interrupting is rude. Right, we need to actually give the user these options. So we're going to make btn deal disappear. And we're going to bring in the hit and stand buttons. we made the P total and forgot to display it. So that's better. And you know what? We are going to use the player total in the next one. So I'm just going to make it global and get rid of this line entirely. I think that's everything. If not, we'll come back. If the user hits stand, what should happen next? Pretty much nothing. We should go straight to the dealer's turn. And since we have two different buttons going to the same place, we should call that dealer's turn. And just have done with it. And it's not returning any values, so we're going to make it a sub. Dealer turn. Boom. All right, and then we'll come back to this in a bit, because right now I want to talk about... What? Dealer turn. Sub dealer turn. And then I put the little parentheses there, and I hit enter, and the end sub popped up, and there's nothing in it right now, and that's okay, because we're going to come back to it in a minute. First, I want to deal with the hit button.
What was in the BT stand? Sub?
Nothing yet. Or a stand?
Yeah.
It's just a call to dealer turn. It just goes, go directly to dealer turn. I suppose I could have put everything for the dealer's turn in hit stand and then called it, but it just would have been weird because there's all this extra, I am blanking on the term because I am a genius who has been teaching computer science for 20 years. Parameters. These parameters are here. I'm awake. All right. Behold the hit button. Well, first things first. Let's give the dealer some cards. So the dealer will also need some variables to store their values, and those are local because they're only happening... Oh, wait. We're not in dealer turn yet. I'm sorry. Hit. Yes, we need a P3 card. So int P3 card. We're going to need an int P3 card, and pretty sure that doesn't have to go anywhere else. Actually, int P1 card and int P card don't have to go anywhere else either. Come to think of it. Well, int P3 card as integer, and then int P3 card is going to equal int rnd time, or wait, what am I doing? I made a whole function for this. And the player 3 card will get dealt. And then int p total will have int p3 added to it, and that might bring us over 10. So just in case, we'll do a mod 10 and display the new total. And I think that's all we need. Because the deal function already deals with making the card visible and assigning it a value and putting the value in the label. And it returns the value, which could give us to int3p. So yeah, we win. I could probably refactor this down so that we don't need the the variable. But I think this makes it easier to see what's going on under the hood. So I feel pretty good about it.
Oh, now we run it.
Not yet, because there's nothing in the dealer's turn. So now the player has their total, they have their cards, and now it is time for the dealer's turn. Well, the dealer is going to need some places to put their cards, definitely, so we're going to do a D1 card as integer, int D2 card as integer, int D3 card as integer. Ask. At the end of hit, should we make dealer's turn happen? Why, yes. I don't know why we would. Why would you want to do that? That would make the game work. Yes, thank you. And there's dealer turn. Good catch.
Wait, where'd you put the overturn on green?
After
hit. Oh, after hit.
At the end of the hit.
No. What is it doing? Oh, fuck that.
Language. Where are we? Guys ready to move on? Excellent. No? Where are we at?
I don't know.
Can you phrase your question in the form of a question?
I don't know.
Oh, you still know.
That is easy to answer. The answer is yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, good thing this is being recorded. We can jump back later. Moving on. We need to deal some cards. So int D1 card would equal deal LBL D1 card. And int D2 card will equal deal LBL D2 card. Int D total shall equal int D1 card plus int D2 card, all that mod 10. Ah. All right. So now we need to check if we need to hit or stay. So if we stay, we do nothing. So first, we'll just say if int D total is greater than 4, then or greater than or equal to 4. Ha. We'll just do greater than 3. That makes my life easier. So if the total is greater than 3, because if the total is less than 3, let me try that again. If the total is less than 7, because if it's 7 or more, we have to stand. Excellent. If int D total is less than 4, then we have to hit. And to hit, we'll do int D3 card equals deal LBL D3 card. And then int D total equals int D total or equals the quantity int d total plus int d3 card mod 10. And that's that. Else. So if we're here, it means we're not greater than 7. We're not 7 or more, and we are not 3 or less. If d total is less than 4, then we hit. Yeah. If d total is less than, if the total is 7 or more, we're going to skip this entire thing. Because this is basically, do we hit? This entire if statement here is the should we hit? So it answers the question, should the dealer hit? If the total is 7 or greater, the answer is no. So we can skip the entire if structure. If it is less than 7, then we need to figure out if we have to hit or if we may hit. So we've gotten to the part where we have to hit. Now we move to the part where we may hit. So now they're in this part, we have to decide if we want to hit or not. So if, no, it's just nesting. If the dealer's total is less than the player's total. Now, do we want our dealer to play aggressively or play conservatively? AI? All right. So then the dealer's not going to go for ties. So if the dealer is out for blood. So if there's going to be a tie, the dealer's like, nope, we're gonna try to beat you. So if the total is less than or equal, okay, then we hit. So in order to hit, we need to do these things here. Yeah, that's what I did.
Why does it do that?
All right. When we are done with that, you'll notice that I have not done something yet, and that is display the total for the dealer. That's because all of this is happening in the blink of an eye under the hood, and the user doesn't even need to see it yet. But now we're going to, at this point in the subroutine, we have a winner, and we need to just figure out what the results are. So the first thing I'm going to do, what?
You should be able to, like, do it with sound. Like,
Sound is chapter later than now. I don't remember what, 8?
but just add that you're
We'll be playing with sound later. Thank, yeah. For the love of all that's holy, we will be.
Imagine some of the sound effects.
you better prepare for some ear rape then. Yep.
Let's not use that term. Thank you.
Ear molestation.
That's only mildly better.
Ear explosion.
Let's yeah.
Pure annihilation.
Sonic abuse. Which is totally the name of my punk band.
Sounds like you're abusing Sonic.
All right. So our total pops up. Boom. There's our total. Boom, boom, dollar. You know what? It just occurred to me, but I'll come back to it later. It remind me if I forget. We made our setup subroutine before we had totals, so we need to deal with that. But it can wait. Because right now I'm dealing with the end game. And now that everything is in place, everything is in place on the form so the user can see it. Now I'm going to use a message box to pop up the results. So if int d total is greater than int p total, then message box, you lose, comma, comma, loser. And then int losses plus equals 1, LBL losses dot text equals int losses. Else if int d total is less than int p total.
Okay, what?
Go ahead. You had a question? You win.
Yeah, why? I suppose you don't have to program, but
Oops. Int wins plus equals 1. LBL wins dot text equals int wins. You had a question? Shoot.
oh my god.
Your question is, oh my god?
No.
Okay.
What?
All right. I'm going to keep going. If you think of your question, then put it in a comment real quick, and then ask it when the opportunity presents itself. All right, so if we didn't win, if we didn't lose, then we tied. And so this message box shall say, it's a tie.
I even what? You know why like I can't put in a thing like this? I have to replace it like. Oh, you did the thing. Oh shoot, I don't remember how to undo that.
Follow along with somebody else. I'll come around in a bit.
I don't want to have to type in the whole thing again because that would be admitting.
It's a guided lab. You're good. Don't worry about it. So when the determination of the winner versus the loser appears, we will, something wrong? I feel like it thinks that there's something wrong with this line. There is. LBL ties is not declared. Maybe I didn't change its name. I didn't. Oh. I know. The horror.
Quickly, shame him.
Yep,
Shame.
that's right. Do you guys need me to walk through town naked?
No.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Also see that.
Shame.
All right. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. And if... Oh, and then, of course, we set up the new game at the end. Which reminds me, we need to fix the setup thing. Where's our setup? Setup? Setup. 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 Setup.
Yes.
I'm just going to set both labels to 0. Which is a little lazy, but you know what? We've done this for long enough. It should work. There's a lot of moving parts in this one. So I kind of expect something to go wrong. So we'll see in a second.
Yeah.
All right. You already have a crash flush swirly?
Oh, I got it.
Okay, this looks like a game. I've got 11. I'm gonna hit. That's an 8, and I win. It's either got 4. Yep,
Okay, I'm very
that looks good.
Like,
How
it
come
did
it works
reset
that
after.
time, but not in that time?
Did it reset after you? For you?
It did.
Not for me.
I have a 6. I'm gonna hit. I'm feeling lucky.
Very confused.
It's time.
My God, I keep getting what the heck? How does it work?
Okay.
But not
So whoever said it didn't reset, do you have this line at the end of your?
Just got that.
Okay. Next
I
question.
decided that in there.
Hands, please. Hands, or I will also accept puppy eyes. Yes. I'm very proud of your winning streak. Did you need me to send a club bouncer to offer you a free show and meal? A free room upgrade? Huh? At the very, very end. Right here.
How come it's working only half? How come it's not working here, but it works there? Apparently,
How come it's not working here, but it works there? Could you use fewer pronouns, please?
the plus operator is working, and this one as
This is also a pronoun.
two also, but these two work. That doesn't.
Yeah, because you have in D1 card here and you have D here. So you can change.
Well, isn't int D total supposed to equal
Oh, I see
D1
what
card
I
plus
see what
int
you're
D2
supposed to
card? Yet somehow it's not working.
All right. Are there any immediate questions that are not specific?
I'm not.
All right, then I'm going to end the stream. It should be available on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, don't. Maybe I should say. Should I have a? I need a sign off. May I use the restroom as a terrible sign off? But yeah, take the pass. Take the pass. And yes. Thanks everybody. Yes. All right.
Dang it. Stan, I got a 9. And I won.
I don't know. Peace and unrest.